I have been so focused on helping women through the period postmenopausal years, and especially around pelvic health, because unfortunately, once we start to lose our ovarian estrogen, all of the pelvic trauma we might have experienced in birthing, so extended pushing phase, an episiotomy, a forceps delivery, cesarean births, especially several cesarean births, um, large baby, lots of issues which we are able to sustain when we have a lot of estrogen. Once we start to lose our ovarian estrogen, the pelvic area, not just the pelvic floor muscles, but deeper into the pelvic bowl, the urethra, the vaginal walls, everything is very estrogen rich. So when we start to lose that ovarian estrogen, for most women, those pelvic floor issues that we might have experienced postnatally come back with a vengeance. And we need a new strategy. So I'm just going to give you some little stats here. 80% of women, 83% of women, actually, latest stats from last year, will experience some form of pelvic floor dysfunction in their lifetimes, normally once we hit those peri to postmenopausal years. And it might just be the odd sneeze leak, but in 2020, incontinence pads started to outsell baby nappies. And disposable incontinence pads contain up to 90% plastic. A single pad can take as long as 500 years to break down. So if we can start to move towards not needing these, it's really good. 1 in 4 women over 40 experience fecal incontinence. Most women over 50 will have some degree, at least a stage 1 pelvic organ prolapsing into the vaginal canal. Many have both, rectocele and cytocele, maybe the uterus as well. Many women will go into nursing homes because of incontinence issues, and we know that most women stay in nursing homes because of incontinence issues. It's not something that improves necessarily by itself. And we all want to avoid being that potential burden on our families down the track, don't we? So, and of course, all of these issues are a barrier to exercise, because you're not going to necessarily exercise if you don't trust your body. And we know, don't we, that we have to exercise as we age, because, like I said before, if we don't use it, we will lose it. And we know how profoundly important movement, exercise is to every single area of our mental and our physical health. So yes, birthing increases risk, and yes, losing our ovarian estrogen increases risk of these issues. But actually, lifestyle issues and simply aging have just as much impact. So my kind of motto is align with your body and you will align with your life. And over the years, I have seen time and time and time again how much little tweaks to how you stand, how you move, how you breathe, how you rest, have how you eat, have profound differences, make profound differences to how you function. So before I go on, I just need to explain the two extremes of the issues that we experience around the pelvic bowl. So first of all, I'm going to use my bicep to explain this. We have sort of laxity issues. Imagine muscle fibers that have stretched, like post-birth, all the muscle fibers are stretched out, they're lax. Once we lose our estrogen, we sort of get into this more lax arena where the muscle fibers are just losing that strength and elasticity. Similarly, if you're doing a lot of weight training without proper form, we can get this sort of laxity. If we have excessive weight, if we are doing a lot of high impact exercise without mitigation, we can get this sort of laxity, and this is called hypotonia. So hypotonia, laxity. But just as prevalent, if not more prevalent, I think, in what I have seen, especially since COVID, is hypertonia. So if you think of hypertonia, and I'm going to get you guys to do this, if you could just lift your arm up and squeeze your fist and squeeze your bicep and squeeze it so it feels like it's all switched on here. So when we have a lot of tension in the pelvic floor, squeeze your fist. When we have a lot of this tension, if we try and do Kegel exercises, for example, and we try and layer tension on top of tension and we don't have length, you can see that there's actually nowhere for the muscle fibers to go. So if you're about to do a sneeze and you need to activate your pelvic floor muscles, if there is tension there, there's nowhere for those muscles to go. So those sphincters can't close anymore. Tension is not strength. Tension is weakness. Now, can you feel how you squeeze your fist here? If you're squeezing it and you squeeze, after a very short period of time, you can kind of, it starts to ache, doesn't it? It starts to ache and your shoulder starts to ache and you can feel it up here a bit. And if you try and release your hand now, it's quite hard. You've just been squeezing it for a bit. It's quite hard to release, isn't it? So if you think of sustained tension around the pelvic area, how much that could be affecting every function in the pelvic arena. Yeah, the sphincters, the ability to close sphincters, the ability of those organs to sit well, the ability to eliminate well. So I just wanted you to get how that feels not very nice. So give that arm a little bit of a shake there. Most women have a bit of both. Most women have both tension patterns and laxity. So it is a very holistic approach that we need to take.